Okay, this is going to be a demonstration for the drawing portion of the Shepard Fairey style portraits that we're working on. So now, one thing that's really nice about Photoshop is even with the drawings that we do, even after we're finished drawing things, we can still continue to change and manipulate the shape. So this is obviously something you can never do with paper and pencil, but this does open up a lot more opportunities or a lot more artistic freedom in terms of doing your drawing. So, like for example, like in my original sketch, I had this heart in the background here. But let's just say I wanted to draw the heart out, for my background. So again, I'm just gonna look at where my layers are. I'm actually gonna draw below the picture. So the one reason we had the picture cut out is because anything that we draw under the portrait layer though, it's gonna go behind the picture, whereas anything on the top is gonna go on the top of the picture. And I have all these different layers set because it was the original picture that, or it was like the finished drawing that I had. Which I'll show you a little bit later. But I'm just going to just adjust my brush. Now, I didn't really explain this to you when we did your practice, but if you want to change your brush size though, this is going to make it bigger, and then this key is going to make it smaller. So these keys are actually found below the plus and the minus key. So these are nice to know if you want to like free draw on the computer. I'm actually going to erase that there. So I'm actually going to create a new layer on the bottom. So anytime you want to draw anything, always create a new layer. And if you want, you can just tell the outline. Or I'm just going to tell this heart because that's what I'm going to draw as a heart here. So all I'm going to do is draw a heart. Now, I don't actually have to draw the heart exactly how I have it in my sketch here. If I wanted to, though, I could just make a, regular heart over here. Oops. So let me change this to 100 opacity. So if it ever fades out, you want to change that to 100 opacity. I'm going to go with the black brush. And let me use one of the more specialized brushes in Photoshop. So this hard pressure brush. So this will allow me to, do my drawing of the heart. So, I'm just drawing like a regular heart here. One thing that's nice about Photoshop though is, we can always just change or manipulate the heart. So it's not exactly the best heart, but you get the idea though. Oops. I have to use the eraser, so I'm just gonna clean up a little bit more. Yeah, you get the idea though. Here's your picture of the heart. So, one nice thing about this heart though is, it's since we drew it out, this is its own separate piece in the picture. So, very similar to your text layer. If you press, you hold Command and press T, this is going to allow you to transform the heart. So, if I want to make it a little bit smaller, and I can stretch it out, I can skew it, I can resize the heart. Okay, so I can make it a lot bigger than what it is. You see now it's behind, and I also can rotate it. So very similar to like your type tool, you can change and manipulate the shapes of the drawings that you're doing. So I can get that heart perfectly how I want it, like before. And if I wanted to, if I can go back on this spot and clean up my drawing a little bit more. So this is if you want to use like the tab to draw. These, especially these tablets at the school. These are the lower end tablets, so it is a bit harder to draw on it. But if you really wanted to, though, you could just draw on it. This takes a little bit more time and practice with it. But that's why you like that picture of that heart that you want. I'm not gonna really waste my time though. I would just clean this up a little bit more, going over the black and the eraser. In order to get those nice lines though, you really do have to kind of just like redefine those lines a lot when you're drawing with the tablet. If some of you guys are like wondering how to like properly draw with it. So I got my heart shape there. So there's a couple things you can do. You can transform it similar to the type tool. You can rotate, resize. Even if you want to, you could flip the drawings too. Those are some options you can do with your drawings. The same thing too when you have those pre-scanned drawings. So for example, if we go back here, you know, I showed you this last class before, but these are like the pictures that I use to do my drawings. So I have to look for it. So go computer Macintosh. And, I'm just looking for my pictures. So oh, I must have taken it out already. So it should be in here. So these are the pictures that I used before. So I'm actually going to click and drag this into the Photoshop, so it opens up in a completely new document. And you know, these are the pictures that I used before. You know, my suggestion for this part is I would just crop the picture and just crop it into like the parts that you want. So you know, obviously I want one of my pictures to be the heart. And this is I'm actually going to do a file and save as. And I'm going to save this as a PNG file. So change the format to PNG. And we're going to save it. I'm going to replace it because I already made a copy of this, but I'm going to replace it anyways. Make sure it's a large file. And we're going to save that. And then you want to undo what you did before. So go to History, undo it. So just click back on the top here. I'm actually going to crop the second picture here. So I'm actually going to crop this. And I'm going to erase the top here. Actually, before I kind of missed a step here. I'm not going to do it for the heart though, but for like this picture here, and you want to do this for the second picture too. You want to go to layers, image, adjustments, and change the levels. Okay, so you want to change the levels just because if you look at here, there's like a very hint of gray here. You know, it won't translate that well on your picture, but if you change these levels though, the one on the very far right, this is going to make it lighter though, but you want to make it light enough where you lose all those gray spots. It's just like a pure white here. Lose those gray spots. And this part's going to make it more contrasty, so it's going to make those darks pop out. And if you want to adjust the grays more, you can. It's up to you. But yeah, do this levels thing. I forgot to do it for the heart though, but this is going to really, you know, translate the drawings a lot better on your picture. So I'm going to click OK to finish that. And I'm going to do File, Save As. And you do want to title your work. I actually forgot to do this, so we're going to call it Faucet. So we know what it is. Save, click OK. So you know, now you have those two images as separate files. So you know, my suggestion is to make these images as separate files. That way, it'll be easier to cut it out, manipulate it in your drawing. So now if I want to use a heart, though, I just click and drag it onto here. And I can do like the same thing I did before. I can rotate it, create my heart here, and then use that as an image. So I'm actually gonna stretch and skew it a little bit. So you can actually have that choice of stretching and skewing too for your picture. But if you look at it here, though, I didn't do the proper levels to it. So you see like this gray is not really blending out the white. So in this case, you can still do that. Though you can just go to image adjustments, light levels. Fix your levels. So you just have to eyeball it though. I'm gonna make that lighter, make this darker to pop it out. So you saw the thing I did before though. I did Command T to resize, rotate. So it's just like the type tool though. You can change and manipulate those drawings that you do. And then also, if you really wanted to, you can you can make copies of these images too. So I can right click on the hearts and duplicate, click OK, and we're going to unclick that because we don't really need to see that smart filter. But if I move around, then we have another copy of the heart. And if you just want just the outlines though, you can click on the overlay, the multiply, and that'll just make like the outline of the heart here. We can resize that. Click don't show again. I didn't read the message, but it probably wasn't that important. But you can do like multiple hearts, picture, right click, make a copy. So you don't have to essentially draw everything over again and again. You can make copies of these pictures, and some really interesting designs. Just making copies of it. Just some things to play around with. All these things you can do the same with the type tool, even like the duplicate option too. You can just right click on the layer and duplicate it.